My video for the 12th of July, 2018 is entitled The Problem with Inferiority Complex. There are many things that come to mind as I lay quietly on my bed contemplating the issues we face as human beings. Some are religious, some political, and some scientific, but perhaps those are all symptomatic of a far deeper problem with our human existence. What if creation and our relation to the Creator was either lost or somehow modified in such a way that we simply didn't know who or what we really are? I can certainly see how this manifests in others to an extreme, but then I see that it is in me as well. Who do we know? We have all met people whose claim to fame seems to be what famous or influential people they have encountered in their lives. For me, Mr. Sino and the self-proclaimed ambassador of the Chinese dragon family seemed to be my tickets to gaining a wider audience, and indeed it worked. Frankly, as I ponder this, I realize that there is a problem we all face even if we are unable to articulate it. Have we been dumbed down so as to simply forget that we are part of both the Creator and creation itself? What's your perspective on this matter? Indeed, as I lay there pondering this, many things come to mind, as they always do. And I, of course, realize that when I use the term meditate, I don't mean quieting the mind so that there are no thoughts. I mean paying attention to my thoughts, thinking them. Why did this question come up? Why does this feeling come up for me? And it's an inner dialogue that takes place. That's what meditation is to me. And I do it all the time, more than once a day. But every morning when I wake up, before I even get out of bed, I have a period of meditation and people that I pray for, sometimes not by saying an audible word. Sometimes I do say it out loud, but many times I'm just thinking the people's names that I want to pray for. And that list seems to be growing all the time as more people suggest others that I put on that list. And I don't always remember all the new ones because I write them down, but I don't have the list in front of me. And of course, before I go to sleep every night, I'm also rehashing these things because that quiets the mind, and I try to listen to some nice music while I'm trying to sleep. But I look at the problems that we face, and I mean, I could make videos on the RV and political things that are going on, and the conundrum with religions, each claiming to have the final answer, which obviously if they had the final answer in the present tense, the world could change, but none of them do. Not Christianity, not Judaism, not Islam, not Hinduism or Buddhism or any of the other more minor religions. Those are all the big five, I call them. But there are other people that have other religions or no religion at all. And I have no problem with people that have no religion. A lot of atheists that I've read about, including Sam Harris, I mean, he's an ethical atheist, and I have no problem with ethical anything. But of course, a lot of people that claim to be Christians or adherents to one religion or another, they don't seem to have any problem with going to war or acting unjustly and inhumanely toward other human beings. Now, I just this morning deleted a thing. I joined a thing, but I find that almost everything they send me, they want me to fight for animals' rights. And I have nothing wrong with that. But unless we deal with human rights and human consciousness, animal rights are a whole lot less significant, at least to me. Maybe not. Maybe that's a different world than you live in, and I'm not going to belittle your desire to see animals treated humanely. I'd like to see that as well. I'd like to see it, as I said in a previous video, I wouldn't mind becoming a breatharian if I could survive that way, but I'm not there yet. And we're not where we need to be, and perhaps a big part of the problem is that we feel we are less than. We've been told in our religions that we are sinners. We are, in the Hindu culture, they have a caste system, and there's people that are untouchables. You know, they're inferior beings, less than. I don't like the idea of attitudes, but they're all throughout humanity, of attitudes of any group feeling that it's superior to other groups, whether it's the Zionists, whether it's, the Brahmin caste or whatever. I don't believe in caste systems. To me, we're all human beings, and until we can stop seeing ourselves as superior or inferior, we're going to have problems, because that creates a class system and a clash of identity. So we need to know who we are. And to me, who I am is I'm part of the creation, and the whole creation is part of the Creator, which is why I say love is the only answer. Because as long as the creation is at war with itself, there can be no love. And as long as one part of creation is fighting another part of creation, there's a separation that creates a situation that there can be no peace. And when there can be no peace, there cannot be love. I mean, when everything in your world is being attacked and eroded, and you don't know whether you're going to be able to feed yourself, or if you have children, your children, you're not going to be able to survive, and there's questions about these things, that creates a real dilemma and a real problem. And a lot of people make up for their inferiority complex, which is part of human nature, it seems, at least as it currently stands. A lot of people take the other thing and they claim superiority, like the Brahmin caste and many of the Jewish people claim to be separate from everybody else, and everybody else is a subhuman, and they are the true humans or the superior ones. But superiority is just a reaction to the inferiority complex. That's the point that I'm trying to make with this video. And I'm examining it, and I'm looking into myself and reaching out to those that listen to try to find answers. How can we overcome an inferiority complex without trying to feel that we're better than somebody else? We've all met people, I'm sure, that are name droppers. Well, I met this person and I met that person. And somehow that makes them feel like they're important. And all people are important, but they don't drop names of just ordinary Janes and Johns that they might have met. They want to drop names of famous people, television celebrities or movie stars or politicians or great military people. And that does not elevate an individual by doing that. But when we have an inferiority complex, we may think, well, I met President Joe Blow. And of course, I made that up. There was no president by that name. But regardless, that's not how we overcome the problem that we have of not knowing who we are. And not knowing who we are creates inferiority. We are not sinners. We are not outcasts. We are simply confused. And we've been living in a world of confusion all of our lives. I'd like to see that change. How about you? Thank you for listening, and Namaste.